My life was in disarray. My job was to get up in the morning and get drugs. Getting the drugs was more important than my family. I had my 6 children. I would make sure they would go to school, but then I was just off to the races.
I used to get a disability because I had an enlarged heart. So she would always take the money and, smoke it away or sniff it away.
I was in the apartment with them, but I was the invisible mom. I left the children alone. I went to my friend's house in another part of Brooklyn. There was a big blizzard. It was freezing cold, there was no transportation, and all I was thinking about was getting drugs. I was standing on the corner saying to myself, what am I doing? I'm gonna die out of here. At 5:30 in the morning, they gave me a token, and I went to Kings County Detox. And there was a gentleman named Robert Dockery. He came and spoke about Project Return.
Palladia was originally Project Return, which was a drug-free therapeutic community.
I had to call Project Return. They said I had to be there the next day. I had to get to the Bronx by 2 o'clock, otherwise there would be no bed for me. I got on the train and that $10 in my pocket. Every stop the train made, I knew where to get off to spend that $10 on drugs. I knew every place in Brooklyn, but I stayed on the train.
When I first met Emily Del Torre, she was a client or a resident in Willow, one of our city shelters.
I'd never been into a treatment facility. Everybody was coming up to me saying, welcome back to life. They were hugging me and I'm looking at them.
I'm sure it definitely was intimidating to her. Going into a program where obviously there's rules and regulations that she had to follow.
Everybody had to have a job function, and they picked me to work in the kitchen. So I stayed there and I learned a lot about responsibility, which I had lost along the way.
And little by little, there was a change in her.
I came in all washed up, and 3 months I finally stopped crying and saying, you know what, I want this, I want to live.
She then went from the shelter into our first family housing program, and her son grew up there.
Today I'm an outreach coordinator. I go to various health fairs and I promote for Palladia.
Emily has built a really good life for herself and her family, and that's what this is about.
I didn't have my mother while she was using drugs. The day she decided to put down the drugs was the day she became my mother again.
I just wanted to live. I saw everyone around me dying, and I said, I don't want to go that way.